ప్రెస్ మీట్కి వచ్చిన మిత్రులందరికీ ఆహ్వానం, స్వాగతం, సుస్వాగతం. మేము ఇండియన్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఫర్ రేర్ డిసీజెస్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ నుంచి నా పేరు సాంబశివరావు. ఐఎమ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది members of the organization. I'd like to introduce the members of the organization. First of all, President of our organization is Dr. Ramaiah Muthyala, who is a professor in the University of Minnesota in United States. And Dr. Krishnajirao Muthyala is the secretary of our organization. And we have two leading doctors from the city who are members of our organization. Dr. Geeta Nagashri, a leading oncologist from Care Hospitals. And likely we have Dr. Amaresh, who is the chief of cardiothoracic surgery at NIMS. So friends, first of all, once again, we welcome you all. And we are very, very, very thankful to Sri Jagan Garu, who is the Deputy Director here. Sir, thank you very much, sir, for organizing everything and for being a part of this program today. And friends, we are working towards creating awareness and bringing, support to the people, rare disease people. అది ఏంటంటే రేర్ డిసీజెస్ అనేవి మనకి అందరికీ అక్కడక్కడ వస్తుంటే వాటికి మందులు లేవు అని రామయ్య గారు చెప్తారు. దానికోసం మేము ప్రయత్నిస్తూ ఉన్నాము. February 28th of every year, ప్రతి సంవత్సరం February 28th వరల్డ్ ఓవర్, దట్ ఈస్ ద వరల్డ్ రేర్ డిసీజ్ డే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటారు. సార్ దాన్ని సెలబ్రేట్ చేస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే టు క్రియేట్ అవేర్నెస్ సచ్ దట్ అందరికీ తెలుస్తుంది, ప్రజల్లో అందరికీ తెలుస్తుంది రేర్ డిసీజు ఇది ఏదో దేనివల్ల వచ్చింది కాదు, వీటికి జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకుంటే ఇచ్చేయచ్చు, వాటిని ఎలిమినేట్ చేయొచ్చు అని ఇది కూడా ఉంది. సో ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో మేము చేసాము. మీ అందరి సహకారం ఉంటే దీన్ని ప్రజల్లోకి తీసుకెళ్ళచ్చు ఈజీగా. దాని గురించి వివరాలు ఇంకా చెప్పడానికి నౌ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ అవర్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ Dr. Ramaiah Muthyala to go ahead and describe us what we are going to do and why we are doing this. Dr. Ramaiah, thank you.
Thank you very much. నేను ఇంగ్లీషు తెలుగు రెండు కలిపేస్తాను, ఏది మంచిగా ఉంటుందో మీరు తీసుకోండి. Our organization is almost 17 years old. It is the first of its kind in the country, which started the awareness of rare diseases here. It is the umbrella organization representing all rare diseases, irrespective of who has and where it is. Our mission is very simple: raise the awareness, advocate public policy, promote diagnosis and treatment for rare diseases. Our vision, in one word, we say that the patients with rare diseases should have equal opportunities and privileges as those of people promote normal common diseases. That's our mission. Gentlemen, today you have an option to be here or somewhere else, and we thank you for being here and listening to us. And also, there are so many activities are happening outside this room, political, social, culture, etc., in this all over the city. And again, thank you for choosing to be supportive of our mission, providing a voice to the voiceless people with rare diseases in our country. Now, I will tell you a little bit about World Rare Diseases Day. It is observed on the last day of February every year since 2008. Today, more than 98 countries, in each country, several disease-specific and umbrella patient organizations are participating in this event. Its message has been communicated in 32 languages. Though Rare Disease Day is community-led, everyone, including you all, families, caregivers, child care professionals, researchers, clinicians, political leaders, industry representatives, and the general public can raise the awareness. We urge you all to take action today for this vulnerable population that requires immediate and urgent attention. While rare diseases individually affect less than 1 in 2,000 people, there are so many individual rare diseases, at least 7,000 of them. They are cumulatively everywhere and everywhere. For example, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, neurofibromatosis, Huntington disease, and thousands of other conditions with the names that you have never heard. Most people may not know the disease names, but I assure you that you have seen them in your neighborhoods. A minimum of 6% of people live with the rare diseases, equating 400 million rare disease population globally. In India alone, the rare disease population could be 90 million, exceeding the combined population of Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. You can imagine. The magic of rare disease brings the solidarity to the world. When the tragedy strikes their loved ones, their once carefree lives evaporate before their eyes. The rainbow disappears. The dark cloud of fear roll in. Parents use different coping mechanisms and begin connecting with other families whose children live with rare diseases. They believe they are stronger together as they navigate their unique world of rare disorders and conditions. Gentlemen, let me assure you, this day, Rare Disease Day, brings together the world of people living with rare diseases. That is the specialty of this day. Many doctors don't know a lot about these disorders. Some diseases are estimated between 1 in 25,000 to 1 in 1 million people worldwide. This is probably the reason why nobody knows many ultra-rare diseases. Let me tell you one quote. Rare diseases land, unquote, is the world's most significant countries, China and India. Can you believe that? 80% of rare diseases are genetic disorders. Often these disorders are undiagnosed, they are nameless, they are medical refugees without a home or state. On average, it takes 5 to 7 years for the child with a rare disease to get a correct diagnosis, and sometimes decades in adults if they get one. Only 6% of rare diseases have this alternative drug therapies. They are not cures. Only 5% of rare diseases have a code in the most commonly used medical coding system. If rare diseases are not counted, we leave them with the feeling that the people living with rare disease do not count. How sad it is. The journey of rare disease patients has just begun in the rare disease space in India. Until 1992, the term rare disease or orphan drug did not or sparsely exist in Indian literature. However, we have come a long way. This day, World Rare Disease Day, alerts the policymakers to address the issues that affect the rare disease community. An unofficial, the last half decade of report card in our country provides a few significant policies of importance to the rare diseases community. It's gratifying to note at the end of 2021, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare drafted national health policy to treat rare diseases. It is third time in last 4 years. Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1945 amended to include the terms rare diseases and orphan drugs. Also, rare diseases are included in the clinical trial rules of 2019. Further, expensive orphan drugs have permission to import under compassionate use. Orphan drugs are included in the production-linked incentives, the so-called PLI schemes, to withstand the pressures imposed by the import restrictions on the key raw materials needed for the pharmaceuticals. This is nowhere close to where we should have been, but it may be the train just started. It is likely many join in the momentum. The generic drug industry has made India self-sufficient in manufacturing drugs that are no longer under patent restrictions. However, India lacks in providing healthcare access for drugs under patents. We strongly believe it is unlikely that this scenario will change unless the government steps in and provide the needed incentives such as derived from US Orphan Drug Act of 1983 or similar incentives suitable to the generic manufacturers of India. One very important point I want to make it here. The rare disease issues suffer from the identity crisis. To circumvent this issue, we believe that there should be a dedicated office for orphan drug development and a separate office for the discovery of new medicines as well as diagnosis. Over the years, Indian research institutions, academics spent a huge sum of basic research and mechanism to translate them into products useful to the community is missing. The COVID pandemic has worsened mental health crisis across the world. It is the stress of all of 2 years here. Remember, rare disease patients experience such stress all their life. Can you imagine how their lives would be when we cannot bear just 2 years of stress? There should have been a more significant investment in health research. Orphan drugs are expensive. The most impact of public funded health insurance such as Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya showed increased access and utilization of healthcare services, but not to the rare diseases. Because of the complexity and lack of understanding of the problems associated with the rare diseases, the flagship Ayushman Bharat health insurance scheme, which is aimed at offering universal health coverage, state-sponsored Arogyasri schemes would not cover the rare diseases. If at all covered, it is very, very small amount. One of the goals of universal health is to increase a system of protection that provides equal opportunity to people to enjoy the highest possible level of health. It is the obligation of our government as a signatory state of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030 to work towards universal health care. Universal health coverage aims to address the challenges posed by healthcare inequality by increasing the accessibility and affordability of healthcare for the entire population, that includes rare diseases as well. Rare disease momentum just started. It's not localized in one country. In December 2021, a global grassroots campaign led by the rare disease patient community at 76th United Nations General Assembly at headquarters, New York, secured the adoption of the first ever UN resolution on addressing the challenges of people living with rare diseases and their families. 54 countries sponsored the resolution and 193 UN member states unanimously accepted the resolution. In the current pandemic, the COVID has increased the needs and the opportunities. Rare disease patients can reciprocally contribute to the benefit of COVID initiatives. Government of India has started several projects such as mRNA and genetic sequencing to tackle genetic disorders much before the COVID pandemic started. These have opened to a new world that provided crucial benefits to the entire healthcare system: vaccines. While it is easy to identify genes responsible for rare diseases like muscular dystrophy, Parkinson's disease, the technology is becoming possible to identify specific cancer markers or even things like heart disease using a gene editing called CRISPR-R. These are some of the benefits of rare disease research on a common disease. People generally ignore this point. It is common knowledge that there are diseases do not attract sufficient research funding, but many incredible research projects are in place to find gene therapies and repurpose drugs to combat rare disease. Such inspirational discoveries are noticed in our country, but much slower than anticipated. The entire rare disease community contributes to the driving of innovation. For example, patient advocacy organizations are creating education and awareness programs for the patients and healthcare professionals involved in the clinical trials and biopharmaceutical companies. Now, with the Rare Disease Day, coming back to that, we hope to raise the critical issues of awareness about rare diseases while celebrating the color, joy, and inspiration of our rare children bring to our lives. Our organization, that is Indian Organization for Rare Disease, elevates the voice of faces and experience of rare disease community. To share a rare disease story and connect to valuable resources, please visit our website www.i-ord.org. We are thrilled to call attention to Rare Disease Day and the significant need for awareness options facing the millions of Indians living with rare disease. On this occasion, a magnificent heritage structure, the Moazzam Jahi Market, a super bazaar of the last Nizam of Hyderabad, and the modern Durgam Cheruvu Cable Bridge, the longest of its kind in the world, will be illuminated with the colors of rare diseases on 2/28 night. We are proud to share in the name of awareness that this event will bring to you. Please join if you can and tell your friends and other people to join us. Thank you.